Kathleen Kennedy is finally stepping down from Lucasfilm after 14 long years. And I wish I could celebrate this and say a big fuck yeah to that, and honestly, I'm saying it anyway, but the circumstances aren't so great after all. I've been listening to this for about 8 years now, that she's gone and gone and going, and she never fucking goes. Well, the thing is, this would have been a happier moment if Star Wars was in a better state than it is. A 16-year-old me in 2012 could have never imagined to what degree this franchise would fall and how much damage would be done to it. And that's not even like, it's not even a lore perspective as to how much it is a political one due to how much crap they've been pushing in this franchise.
You need anything?
Equal rights?
Sadly, I don't think getting rid of Kathleen Kennedy fixes much, because I'm of the opinion that they should be cleaning the house completely off of everyone.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of yes, yes. The power of one, the power of two, the power of
So since I'm actually quite happy that Kathleen Kennedy is gone, I'm feeling quite generous, so use the code Kathleen at cantinasabers.com to get 25% off of your entire order. By the way, this code applies for the first 20 people who use it. You probably noticed my dojo just appeared in the background, but don't worry, I'm not Hamas Piker. Back in 2012, I was 16 years old, and even back then I remember when I used to talk with my friends how it was a bad idea to sell Star Wars to Disney. Even then we knew, especially after seeing the interview with George Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy. That was the first time I actually saw that woman, and I immediately disliked her for that. Now this basically has nothing to do with her actual character, whom, I mean, we don't know Kathleen. From what I've heard, she seems like a very nice lady in real life and whatnot. But regarding that interview, she seemed like a snake as she was looking at George Lucas. And over the years, I mean, Star Wars was worse than I could have ever imagined over the years. All thanks to her, Bob Iger, and all the people behind in Disney. But the thing is, over the years, she gave off the impression that she doesn't understand Star Wars at all, and she didn't, of course. She had absolutely no idea what she was doing. First of all, she's not a fan of Star Wars. She's a fan of feminism, that's for sure, definitely. I remember her talking about wanting to replace, wanted to make it all equal in the company, to have 50% men, 50% women. And guess what? I'm guessing they probably did that. And the result was they wanted to make Star Wars more female-centric, and now Star Wars isn't for anyone. So well done with that. Because women don't care, men don't care now. Well done.
The fact that we are trying to grow in the workforce the number of women in executive positions and in all positions inside the company, and with the movies that we're making, and with the protagonists that we're putting in the stories. So I get a huge amount of support with that. But we have 50% of our executive team are women. Mm-hmm. And 6 out of 8 of the people in my story group are women. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be surprised that we're making Star Wars movies and the majority of the people involved in the development of those stories are women. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's making a huge difference in the stories that we're trying to tell. I feel it is going to happen. We are going to hire a woman who's going to direct a Star Wars movie. I have no doubt.
It is time for a change.
They killed all the substance and meaning in Star Wars with their sequel trilogy, and especially with their slop known as the live-action Star Wars TV series, except for Andor. So my point with that is she had absolutely no clue what she was doing with the franchise. And that is especially known with how many projects have been shelved over the years. I remember, like, around The Force Awakens and Rogue One, when they decided to make the anthology series movies like Rogue One, which, by the way, I absolutely love, to be honest. Basically, they announced if I remember correctly, an Obi-Wan movie, a Boba Fett movie, and a Han Solo movie at first. Or was it after Rogue One? The Boba Fett film was shelved very fast, due to the director having some issues with Fantastic Four. Can't really remember his name, so that was gone. Obi-Wan movie eventually turned into the series, and we got the Solo movie, which was a major flop at the time. But when you compare it to the other Star Wars stuff, it wasn't even half bad, to be honest, due to how crappy the series that we got were. Oh yeah, basically, yeah, Boba Fett also got his own series then eventually.
Like a panther. Yes?
Remember how many reshoots Solo had? And they wasted basically the money for 2 movies in the end. Changed directors because they didn't have a similar vision, whatever the hell that means. Then they announced a Lando movie, if I'm not mistaken, or a series around the Han Solo release, which of course never happened as well, because we don't need a pando who likes to have sex with droids. Like, give me a break. Who the hell cares about that stuff?
How would that work?
It works.
Ridiculous and degenerate. Then there was the an X-Wing type movie from the director of Wonder Woman, can't even remember her name, not important. That they made some type of promo where she's going into an X-Wing starfighter, and that's basically all you got from that. That got shelved. Then don't get me even started on the games. The Knights of the Old Republic game was shelved as well. The Star Wars Eclipse, something High Republic era based, got a cinematic trailer. Heard nothing from it after that. Not to mention how many game projects were announced like 10 years ago that never happened, basically. Then we have the disasters of the Battlefront games, which were basically unfinished games, released, then patched to hell, and then never really fully finished. Like, all of this was just a huge mess. Then the newest news was with the Rey movie, which I don't even know if it's happening at this point. I don't even know if anyone gives a shit, to be honest. Like, who cares about Rey? Who cares what happens after the sequel trilogy? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Return of the Jedi should have been the happy ending of the Star Wars story, and I still hold on to that from way back in 2015. I thought that then, and I still think that, because this was all a massive bloody mistake. So we don't know what's happening with the Rey movie. Who the hell even approved that crap? Probably Kathleen, because she has no clue what fans want. She's all about the... I don't even think she's about the money, to be honest, because they had a cash cow that they decided to throw away with The Force Awakens. They never put Han Solo, Leia, Lando, Luke, Chewbacca, R2, 3PO in the same room, and they could have made many more billions with that, and they never did it, because the new characters, the new woke characters, were much more important than the old one. You know, out with the old and in with the new.
It's a very big universe I've created, and there's a lot of stories that are sitting in there.
But George didn't leave anything more than a blueprint. And certain characters, obviously, that we've known and loved from the previous movies, and then the new characters that were created by JJ in The Force Awakens. So that's really the challenge, is that we don't have source material.
I have story treatments of 7, 8, and 9 and a bunch of other movies, and
we don't have 800-page books that we're adapting. We don't even really have comic books that give us a great deal. We have an idea, we have a mythology that George Lucas created.
And obviously we have hundreds of books and comics and everything you could possibly imagine. So, you know, I sort of moved that treasure trove of stories and various things to Kathy, and, you know, I have complete confidence that she's going to take them and make great movies.
The main thing is to protect these characters, make sure that they still continue to live in the way that you created them, and that the universe of Star Wars continues to grow. What did he start with, and where have we ended up?
How do you feel about that?
I feel great about it. I think she's been doing a great job, and I don't know how to make movies, so...
So it seems Dave Filoni is taking over Lucasfilm now, and the old me would have been overjoyed because I absolutely love the Clone Wars and Rebels, and I still do, especially the Clone Wars. But the thing is, Dave Filoni isn't much to look at without George Lucas, which is apparent at this point. Because ever since The Mandalorian came out, all these live-action series, the spin-offs and whatnot, Dave Filoni has shown that all he's able to do is show you some member berries and cash in on nostalgia, which absolutely doesn't work in my book anymore. The story has to have some weight, and it has to have some substance, and the characters have to be have to have some meaning in that story instead of just being a cameo fest, which means nothing in the end. So Dave Filoni, I don't care about his work anymore. The Ahsoka show basically proved that to me. He's not capable of holding his own at this point. I mean, I actually believe that Jon Favreau at this point is better, but I'm not really even so sure because The Mandalorian is kind of overrated in my opinion. So I don't think Star Wars is saved by Dave Filoni. I would have thought that in 2019 when they brought Clone Wars back for Season 7, but Dave Filoni has fallen in my eyes quite a bit. I actually remember seeing some videos of him pandering to the feminist crowd and some stupid bullshit like that. So he's absolutely the same, a yes man in the company, from what I can see, sadly. I always liked the guy. I mean, he's probably a nice guy as well in real life. I'm not going to take that away from him. I don't know him, but I know some people who know him. And I've only heard the positives regarding him, and believe it or not, even Kathleen Kennedy regarding real life. But when it comes to the Star Wars job, Dave Filoni is in marriage with Ahsoka Tano, and with some of his Clone Wars characters which he can't let go, and he's always doing a cameo fest, which I'm absolutely tired and sick of. Andor gave us new standards of storytelling when it comes to Star Wars, and the cameos ain't gonna cut it. So Dave Filoni is no savior in my opinion. He's very good at retconning even his own stories, especially the EU ones. So I don't think much is gonna change, because the only thing that Lucasfilm actually needs is to clean house, absolutely, completely. Because the entire company has always been full of woke morons who want to politicize everything. And from my perspective, I don't want politics in Star Wars. I want it to be neutral ground. I want it to be a story about good and evil, objective good and evil, objective morality. It's supposed to be about family, and it's supposed to be about redemption of the irredeemable. I don't need this shallow crap where the rebels are the protesters or activists, while the Empire are Nazis and some stupid shit like that. Because to me that is pointless, shallow crap. Give me more meaning and depth to Star Wars. Star Wars, after all, has a spiritual component to it, and a moral one, a deep one. So let's bring it back to its core, where it has meaning and an actual purpose, because these Disney stories, from what I can see, are just pointless cash grabs that lead to nothing. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse, as they call it, leading to Ahsoka, and then leading to Ahsoka Season 2, and some big, epic, endgame type movie is actually leading to nothing. Because we know that after that, the sequel trilogy has to happen, because that is officially canon in their new Disney continuity. So basically, you know that the bad guys have to lose for the sequels to happen. It leads to nothing. All they give us is they give us some good scenes in a teaspoon, and then you have to wait for the next season to get that one good scene. It's never completely just good or solid or something like that. They always just give you the good parts little by little to keep you invested, and promising in the end that it's leading to something big, something meaningful, but it's not. It never does. So no thank you. I'm not really convinced that Star Wars is going to go in a good direction as long as they're not all gone. Because it hasn't been working for a decade, and I don't expect it to change right now.
Put a chicken in and make her name it gay!
Sure, yeah. Well, let's try that. Again.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I actually really enjoy making these types of videos, and with that said, please check out cantinasabers.com and get yourself a lightsaber. Use code Kathleen, applies only for the first 20 people, and get 25% off of your order. This will help me continue making videos like this and working on upcoming side projects, which you'll see, and hopefully the LEGO reviews and lore videos.
This party's over.
Anyway, may the Force be with you always, you rebel scum, and Christ is King.